this is Stampy, and welcome to a Minecraft Let's Play video, and another video inside of Stampy's lovely world. Good morning, William Beaver. Good morning, Fizzy Elephant. These are the helpers that are going to be joining me today as we head over to my fun land to begin. Whoa! To be fair, Fizzy, I did punch Fizzy off my balcony in the last episode, but you kind of got revenge on the wrong person, Fizzy. I feel like you should have punched me off the balcony. I mean, don't, but it's just poor William. I don't know, maybe William's going to push someone else off the balcony in the next episode. Anyway, let's go and have myself my breakfast. Nom 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 nom. But a bit, you can stand up and you can join me. And before we go over to the fun land, I'm going to go and head over to my love garden so I can let you all know who it is that we are going to be adding to the love garden today. And then, yep, as I said, a brand new, pretty humongous and complex minigame, which I am looking forward to building and slightly dreading building at the same time. We have a lot to get done today and over the next few episodes, but all will be explained in no time whatsoever. But first, head to the love garden, I'm going to add Martha. And the reason I'm adding Martha is because she did a really cool decorated pebble to look like Stampy Cat, and you can see that it's really good because the rock that she used basically looks a bit like my face anyway. It's kind of got ears, which is a really good idea, and she has a very cool looking cat in the background as well. So thank you so much for doing that, Martha, and welcome to my love garden. Okay then, let's go and drop Barnaby off at the doghouse. I can choose a dog to join us while we go and do our building, and then I'll be able to use my their teleporter to get us straight by where we're going to be building, because yeah, we're building right at the very back, basically the furthest away part of the fun land I've built, basically because we needed a lot of room for this game, and we're going to be doing it while being joined by Benji, which is William Beaver's choice today. I feel like it was only fair I let him choose which dogs we're going to take with us, seeing as he has had his morning being pushed off a balcony. Maybe he might need something to cheer himself up a little bit so we can have his selection of dog. But yeah, well, let's go down into the teleporter and we'll be able to begin building, and when I begin building, I'll properly explain exactly what this game is and what the rules are going to be, and it will all make sense to you. So all right then, let's go and pull the lever. We need button number 2 today to end up at the right teleporter. And right then, let's get to the fun land. All right then, I think I should be just about at the fun land now. So let's go and open up the door, and I'll go and show you where I'm going to be building. My helpers can teleport after me, and Benji is a dog, and dogs are magic in Minecraft, and they can teleport anywhere that they want, as long as you are there, and I certainly am here. So all right then, we're building behind this game, which is called Yoink, and then this game, which I have no idea what this game's called. I didn't build it that long ago, and I've already forget its name. I always forget the name of this game. This game is called Knock 'em Dead. There we go. So yeah, we're building next to this game here. And as you can see, I have this huge area. This is where the game's going to be built. And seeing as it is a relatively complicated game, I have marked out the area with a bunch of flowers and kind of done where the entrance of the game is going to be, just to make things a little bit easier for me today, because otherwise I'd spend ages just trying to work out where it is that I need to start building rather than actually doing any building. So the main thing in the middle of the game is there's going to be a giant pit. So basically it's like a 1v1 PvP game, and there's a big pit where you can try and knock the other player into, and then when you've either taken them out or knocked them into the pit, there's a minecart you need to push to your base. So there are more rules than that, and I will explain them throughout the video. But first, let me just go and get a start on building. Otherwise, I'm just going to stand in this empty field talking for ages, and we are not going to get any building done. So this little ring is going to be 13 by 13, which means I need to go 6 either way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, I did not mean to mark it with a flower, but that kind of worked out pretty well. And then, so that would be 1, then 1. Oh, no, didn't mean to place that there. Just meant to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this should make it so that the middle is 13. I think I might need to go one further, actually. I think I need to go one further on either side. So basically, the big gap in the middle, that needs to be 13 blocks either way. And excuse me, helpers, for just 1 second. There's an entire field here, helpers, and they're in happen to be on the one block I'm trying to count along. So this should be 13 across in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. So that is going to be the size of the pit, a pretty big pit. And then from here, we can kind of just build the rest of it out. So here I need to go 5 blocks along. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we could do the same on this side, where basically it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this should, fingers crossed, all link up perfectly. So from here we just need to go 2 blocks across out like this. one block in the middle, and then 2 blocks out across again, and then we need to go 5 across again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this should make a circle. Please say I've done this right, and that looks good. It's linking up. That was the important one to make sure that one linked up there. It means that I've probably done this right. It's not definite yet, but it looks so far so good. And then this one needs to go 2 across here, and then linked up in the middle. There we go. So this is going to be the giant pit. This is like the main point of the battle. So you can either just take people out by using your sword or a bow and arrow, but this is going to be a very deep pit, and if you knock them down, it could like just take them out because of the fall damage. You can also get them stuck down in the pit where there's only going to be a couple ladders to get out, and then every time they climb up, you can knock them down or shoot them with a bow and arrow. Also, you can just keep them distracted enough so you can go and push the minecart to your base, which is going to be the main objective of the game. So right then, let's build this pit up a little bit. We need to go 3 blocks up because that's going to be where the floor is going to be in this part of the game. There's going to be like 2 bases on either side, where there's going to be beds where you can set your spawn, and that's where you're going to start from. Because basically the way the game is going to work is that, right, let me go and explain the game properly. No. So this top row needs to be smooth sandstone. So tell you what, William, seeing as you like to dig, do you want to dig down? So the pit needs to end up being 8 blocks deep, which means if you dig down by 9 blocks from this top layer here, and then we can go and fill in the floor like that. It seems to be like just about the right distance where it will take about 3 hearts of damage away when you fall down, and it means it's difficult to get out of the pit climbing up the ladder, but not impossible. So you could kind of change around the how deep the pit is, but I think 8 blocks turned out okay, and as you can see, it's a bit of a mess under the ground around here, but hey, it doesn't matter. That's all going to be under the ground. So yeah, this is the way that the game is going to be played. Basically, you're going to spawn in your room. There's going to be a minecart that's going to drop down in the middle of this area here. So there's basically going to be like a big track going across the middle of the pit, which is going to have power rails on, not just normal minecart tracks, power rails, which basically means you can only push the minecart quite slowly. And the reason for that is because if it wasn't power rails, you could basically just kind of come along here and just like shove the minecart, and it would just slide across straight away. And the power rails just mean that you have to kind of more gradually push it across, which means if the other player is still alive and running about, then there's a good chance you're going to end up getting pushed in the pit. Basically, the pit is the most dangerous area to be in, which means you kind of want to be here when the other player isn't around. So, Fizzy, while I start building this area here, do you want to start just building up the floor? So we need to go out to where I've built those, where I've placed those yellow flowers. So that's basically going to mark where like the edge of the game is. So do you want to build up the floor going out this way here, and then across to the other side as well, just so we can go and build all of the cover and other obstacles and bases and stuff that's going to be in the game. So you're going to spawn on ground level, and there's basically just like a ramp that you can go up to get to this area here. And the reason for that is just so you have a bit of cover. So when you kind of first come out of your base, it means that you're not just like immediately being attacked and being destroyed. It's basically kind of just a way so you can kind of get out a little bit more safely. So once it gets to the end here, it's going to go and slope down on either side, and these ones are just going to be normal tracks. So basically, once you've got it off the pit, you'll be able to slide it down, and it's actually going to go through the floor, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that in just 1 second. And then basically it's going to be counting, because you're going to have 3 lives. Basically, well, not 3 lives, like three objectives. Basically, you need to get 3 minecarts into your base to be able to win. So there's going to be like a counting mechanism, which we aren't going to be building today because it's a little bit complicated, so I might need to spend a bit more time on it. But basically, it's going to count how many minecarts have dropped down. Every time a minecart drops down, it's going to light up a light just to let you know that one of them has been dropped down. And then once you get 3 lights, then you end up winning the game. I guess I should make it a minecart as well. But it's also going to do a few other things. It's also going to fire out some arrows into the game, just because you're going to start off with a certain amount of arrows, but of course while you're playing the game, you're going to be shooting them, you're going to be shot by them, there's a good chance you're going to end up losing some of the arrows. So basically it's just going to give you back more arrows, just so you can kind of go and carry on playing the game. But yeah, let me now go and show you how these are going to end up dropping down through the floor. So let me think about which side is going to kind of be which side. I guess this can be the orange side here. It doesn't really matter. It's basically going to be the orange team against the brown team. I realize I made yellow carpets. This was meant to be brown. And oh yeah, so as I didn't mention, this is going to be kind of in like the temple trap family. So the giant pyramid, which you... Can I see if I jump? Oh, I just about can't see. It's on the other side there. Yeah, because this game is all built out of sandstone, it kind of looks really similar to the Temple Trap game. So we're kind of like embracing that and trying to say that it's kind of like in the same family. So some of the decorations that we're going to be building here, we're also going to be kind of building similar things in Temple Trap, just to kind of put it in the same family. So at the moment, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to end up naming this minigame, but my idea at the moment is to call it like Temple Pit, because it's all about this giant pit, and then, you know, to call it Temple just so it fits in with Temple Trap. That seemed like a pretty good name to call it. So, well, yeah, as I said, all of these decorations that are going to be around here, we're going to be doing in Temple Trap as well. And then who knows, maybe in the future, we're going to end up kind of doing the same again, and maybe building some sort of other mini game, which is in some ways to do with temples, or just using a whole load of sandstone, and then we can kind of do the same thing again and keep it in the same style, and kind of have like a family of temple mini games inside of my lovely world. Anyway, let me talk about what I'm doing now. So yeah, if I put this string down here, it basically means that I can put the carpet just on top of the string, and then I can break away these blocks. And if I kind of demonstrate this with the mine cart, you'll see what will happen if it gets pushed across. So let's say I'm on the orange team, I'm trying to push this into my base. It would slide along really slowly on the power rails, but the second it gets to here, it'll go boom and go straight down through the floor. So all of this area around here, this would all be built up with sandstone as well. So this is just basically going to be where the ground level is, and then underneath the ground there is going to be a whole load of redstone, because there needs to be redstone to fire out all of the arrows from the dispensers, and there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dispensers firing out arrows that all need to be linked up with redstone. There's going to be a thing which is going to fire out the next minecart to begin the next round. There's going to be the redstone to light up the lights. There's going to be redstone to open the door when the game is over, just so that you know that the game is done. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of different things that all need to be linked up, and none of it's like crazy difficult. It's just a lot of it. But luckily, it's all going to be under the ground, so I don't need to be worrying about kind of like squeezing it in or trying to fit it anywhere, just because we can kind of just chisel out this whole area, pretty much as William is doing right now. Hi, William! Great work, by the way, today! He's literally just digging a giant pit all day. It's amazing. Right then, let's go and start building some of the other decorations and some of the other obstacles. So, of course, this is going to be like a 1v1 PvP game. I want like a lot of cover and kind of just things for people to be able to hide behind and kind of jump around and stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do now. So there's going to be the main bases that you spawn in. And basically, your opponent won't be able to get into those bases. It's going to be like a one-way door, like iron doors with a pressure plate, so that you can spawn, you can get out, but the other player can't go in, because otherwise you could just like stand above their bed and keep taking them out that way, which yeah, it would be funny for the person doing it, but probably not so fun for the other person. But then also in the game, there's going to be like a few mini bases, which are basically just kind of places for you to like hold up and trying to defend and try and stop the other player from getting to them, and also just like a bit of high ground and cover and stuff. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to begin building today. So once again, keeping with the Temple Trap theme, we're going to use a lot of sandstone, and then we're also going to use some of these chiseled blocks and some of the smooth sandstone. Basically, if you do remember Temple Trap in the same style that I did there. So on this side and the other side over there, there's basically just going to be two pretty small bases, which are going to be places that are going to be good to just kind of hold out, just to stop the opponents from sneaking in to attack you. Also, they're going to be places where you're going to be able to get more arrows from. So it's just going to be, as I said, a few dispensers around the area that after every single round, they're all just going to fire out one arrow, which basically also means that you don't want to just go to the other person's spawn, because while you've taken the other person out, you're going to have a great chance just to like dash around and grab as many arrows as you can, rather than just going straight up to their door and waiting for them to come out. I mean, you could do that, but it means you're going to be doing it with less arrows, and then if you're not successful, then you could end up losing. So yeah. Oh, I did this wrong, actually. So this is going to be like, there's going to be two doorways here, which is going to be how you're going to be able to enter this little area down here. And then there's going to be a dispenser in the floor right there. So these dispensers are going to be like aiming directly up. I might need to place some blocks underneath the ground just so I can do that. And they're basically going to be firing the arrow just into the ceiling. And then that way you can just kind of run along and just kind of pick it up as it's fired into the ceiling. And it should stay there for a decent amount of time there. There's quite a big gap until they end up despawning. So that shouldn't take too long. And yeah, let me go and build this base. So this one's going to be, I think Fizzy's after glowstone. There's some glowstone, Fizzy. I don't, is he, am I doing it wrong? I think he's telling me, am I doing it, is it wonky? Oh, no, it doesn't seem to be. It does seem to be perfectly in line. And oh, but this isn't. Okay, I see. It was wonky. Lucky that Fizzy saw that, and lucky I didn't end up doing too much, because otherwise, if I did like this entire base and realized it was all off by one, then that would have made me cry. So all I need to do is just shuffle everything along slightly by one. I bet like Fizzy was doing his side, and he was like, oh, have I done mine wonky? It's not lining up with Stampy's, and then realized that, nope, he was doing it right, and I was doing it wrong. As always, I'm just too busy chattering along, kind of spending way too much time talking, rather than focusing on what it is that I'm actually trying to build. But it would be a very boring video if I was just here in silence building. I don't know. Maybe you'll prefer that. If you would prefer that, just mute the video, and then you can just watch if you want, if that's what you want to do. Actually, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that, because otherwise you won't understand all of the fun things. And oh yeah, if you did want to watch the behind the scenes, by the way, I did do a very long behind the scenes video showing about how I designed this game. And it actually changed quite a lot. I kind of started the idea with just the minecart idea and about trying to push like a minecart to like the other person's base. But then the game just kind of kept changing. I kind of kept changing what the game was going to actually be so many times until I ended up what it was actually going to be. So I won't leave I won't put the behind the scenes up at the same time as this video, just because if you watch that, then you'll see like absolutely everything for the game, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But yeah, once we've finished building this in my lovely world, then there will be a link in the description to the behind the scenes video on my second channel if you are curious to see how I came up with this mini game and how I designed it and kind of what it could have been before I ended up changing my idea. And then yeah, definitely go and check that out if you're interested in that. So right then, this is, as I said, it's just going to be like a small little kind of base, I guess, that you can go and set up on and have like a bit of high ground to go and try and defend yourself from the other player. So there's going to be a staircase on either side, as you can see I am building now, which is going to be the fastest way to get up to the top. And then also from the inside here, there's just going to be a ladder. There's going to be the back wall for the entire game is going to be here. And there's just going to be a ladder up the back here is another way. It's always good, like, if you have, like, an area like this where you do have a bit of high ground or, like, what could be considered, like, a really powerful position to be in. It's always good to have more than one way for, like, players to get up here. Because let's say I've just taken out the other player and I'm at the top here. If there's only, like, one way for that person to get up to me, then I could just, like, stay here with, like, my bow and arrow, just kind of, like, staring at one place. And then, they have no choice but to just directly run at me unless they just ignore me. So it's always good to have more than one way. And it also means that you can get into cases where, like, say if someone's weak, then they can, like, run up the staircase and then, like, drop down and then go up the ladder and basically kind of have a bit of a crazy chase all around the area, which is always fun. Like, of course, you got to remember that you want these games to be, like, balanced and, you want them to look cool and stuff. But the main point is for them to be fun, because if at the end of the day, if they're not fun, then it doesn't really matter, does it? There's no point playing it if it doesn't end up being fun. Right then, so yeah, let's go and add in this ladder, which can go up to the back here like this, so you'll be able to get up to the top. I'm also just going to add some glowstone in here as well, just because, like Temple Trap, I'm going to try and avoid using torches. I'm going to try and just use glowstone all over the place and keep it in that style. And then, yeah, let's go and add, like, a little bit of cover here. So I want to have, as I said, a little bit of cover, but not too much cover, just because I don't want this place to be too powerful. And it's going to be fun because you can get into battles where maybe if one person's up here, then one person's on the other side. And this is kind of like perfect bow and arrow range. Like, imagine I'm trying to shoot arrows at Fizzy. I'm not Fizzy, don't worry, but if I was, this would be like the perfect range to do it. And there's like enough cover that you can kind of duck up and down, but you're never kind of completely in cover or completely safe. So I think it's going to work out pretty well. But anyway, let's go and make a few block babies, and we can build these along here like this, just to, as I said, make a little bit of cover. But then we're going to leave the top bit open just so it's not too powerful. And also, if you need to, you can kind of just go and drop down the side there like that and escape if that's what you need to end up doing. So yeah. And this is going to be how this area here is. And then there's going to be a back wall, which is going to be all the way along here. So kind of where these flowers are, this is going to be the entire way along here. And that's going to leave us a nice little area underneath there, which is going to be where we're going to be able to fit in all of the redstone. But none of that is going to be part of the game. So pretty much most of the area that you're going to be battling in is going to be on kind of like that raised up area there. So let's not worry about building this entire wall in there for now. Let's go and try and do a little bit more of the fun stuff on the top up here and add in some more of the other decorations and cover and other things that are going to be around in the area here. So as I said, there's going to be like a staircase here and here leading up from the spawn. Then also one on the top here. There's going to be like 3 different ways that you would be able to exit the spawn, just to mean, you know, make sure that the person who's like just won the last fight can't just like completely stare down and just know exactly where the other person's going to be coming from. So basically we're going to leave one gap from here and then just add another nice little bit of cover here. So once again, we're going to do the smooth stone and then this chiseled sandstone design. We're going to add some half slabs on the top here. Sorry, block babies. Block babies. That's what I call them. It's a much nicer name than half slabs. So yeah, let's go and get some more block babies. And once again, it's going to be adding a bit of cover, but not loads of cover. So we're also going to add some behind here, which means like, say if you're like fighting someone on the other side over there, you're never completely in cover. Actually, let's do these as full blocks here, so you can have a little bit more cover, but then leave these like that there. So then this way, you can see that your head's always slightly poking over, I guess, unless you're crouching up and down. So once again, I think that if you're like facing someone who's on the opposite side over here, it's going to be a really fun fight. Or even if you're like battling against someone who's on the top up there, you can kind of just about cover, but you're never kind of completely safe, and you can always just jump out and try and attack them. So yeah, let's go and do the same on this side over here, because this game's going to be basically completely symmetrical on both sides, just to make sure it's completely fair. Because if it wasn't like that, then, you know, if it was slightly different, then, you know, someone might prefer battling on one side compared to the other. This way, it doesn't matter what side you are. The only thing that would matter is if you choose like that you prefer that color, I guess, is the only way. So I will probably be going on to the orange side, basically because like that's like my color when I'm playing all of these mini games. But apart from that, they're going to be exactly the same. So right then, let's go and build the same down here. We got the smooth sandstone, then the chiseled, and then the smooth down here like this. We can do the block babies on the underneath down there like that, and then just 2 blocks like this, just so it's the same on the other side. And whoa, you got that built way quicker than me, Fizzy. That was very impressive. Let's see how the pit's going. So let's go make some more ladders, because if I drop down there, I want to be able to make my way back down. Hello, William. I think William's going to get to bedrock soon. I mean, it does matter. Like this whole thing is all about the pit. It is the most important part of the game. So it makes sense to have it as a pretty enormous pit. So there's going to be 2 like kind of big lines of ladders where you're going to be able to get out. So basically going to be one on this side and then one on that side over there. So let's see how deep does this go down so far. Let's see whether this is going to be deep enough. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, look, this is perfect. This is perfect. So if we build the floor in just above these blocks now, then that's going to be perfect. So that will be 8 blocks deep, which I think is going to be deep enough so that if you fall in the pit, then it's going to be rubbish because you're kind of stuck down here, but you still do have a chance. Like say, like if you fall in the pit and you still have some spare arrows and someone's trying to push the minecart, you can still try and hit them and then knock them into the pit, and then you'd end up having like a battle just inside of the pit where I guess you just go crazy with the sword, but you're not going to have a good sword. So the way it's going to start is you're going to have the bow, and you'll start off with probably about 5 arrows or so, but then you're only going to have a wooden sword, but the wooden sword's going to have knockback. So most of the battles are going to be done with the bow and arrow, or trying to knock people into the pit, because if you've ever tried to try and kill someone with just a wooden sword, it's not very effective. Wooden swords are, they're only ever so slightly better than just punching them. So yeah, most of the battles are all going to be about using the bow and arrow, which is why all of the arrows are going to be so important. So the other part to the pit is there's also going to be some towers. So I want it to be lined up in the middle here. So let me just go mark the middle block with, I think, this wall. So that should be the middle block there. So we're going to leave a gap of 2, and then here we're going to do another really tall column. And this is basically just going to be a way how you can kind of like parkour your way into the middle, which is going to be like a really effective way to be able to get to the middle, but also really dangerous, because if you're not very good at parkour, or even if you just rush, or like the other person knocks you off while you're doing it, then you're going to end up falling down into the pit. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward way for getting into the middle. But you can kind of just like imagine, say if you're on the brown team and you want to push the minecart back to your base, like the quickest way to get behind it would be to kind of jump like this, and then you could go and start pushing it back. So it's a way to go really fast, but definitely not as safe as just walking over the big straight bridge. So right then, let's go and fill in some of the blocks that have been left down here. So it's going to be red there, and red there as well. And then we're also just going to add some banners to decorate the area as well. So these walls are going to end up eventually being this high here, I believe. They need to be like 3 blocks high, just because that way there's going to be really no way to escape the arena. Even if they're 2 blocks high, like you might be able to jump out, or if you kind of get punched, then you might be able to escape. But yeah, 3 blocks high, there should be no way to get outside of the arena. Yeah, unless someone like shoots you an arrow the second that you jump, you might be able to escape. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen. Also, it gives us room to go and add in a few more of the decorations. So the red and yellow sides, they don't really matter. The only reason that we've added them in is just so it's just something to call them, because otherwise they're just going to be like the 2 bases and they just kind of blend into each other. By kind of doing them like that, it just means you can say like, the red and the yellow base, and everyone knows exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, that's the only reason that we have them. So let me just go and grab some red and yellow banners. Someone can hold on to my flowers for me, and we can just go and put these on the top here. And then once we get doing go and actually start doing the proper main bases, then we're also going to be able to add some banners and other decorations around there as well. But yeah, there we go. That's where the red banner is going to be. So this is a big build. As you can see, we've made a lot of progress. Like any other mini game, like it would probably be done by now by the amount that we've built. But this is going to be a biggie. So I think we're going to end it here. And then in the next episode, we're going to go and build all of the rest of the area down here, leading down into the spawns, and maybe go and do a little bit of a start on some of the mechanics. But I think between then and now, I might just go and build in some of the outside walls, because all of these walls need to go all the way up here and then all the way down here as well. And it's just going to take a really long time just to go and fill all of these in. So I'm probably going to go and get most of that done in between this episode and the next episode. But we got the most important bit done, the pit. And so we're going to be ready to dunk each other down and all. I nearly got you. Actually, no, I think, William, you need to... You need to dunk someone down. I'm trying to remember who's pushed who off the balcony now. I'm just going to stand here, and someone should push me into the pit, because I feel bad because I've just been pushing everyone around. You can push me down, William, and then we'll just say it's all fair and it's a truce. Anyway, though, sadly, that is going to be the end of this episode here. I'll be continuing building this in the next episode, and I'll leave a link to that episode in the description down below. But for now, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!